Hey guys, what's up? This is Gary here from Human Pride. Haven't made a video in a while, so I figured now is just the time to do it. My brother John called me up about 15 minutes ago and he asked me how do I bypass the vehicle anti-theft system in those old GM cars. Now, I went to a GM dealer and asked him how to do this, and they wanted $100 to look at the car and then another $500 for the parts and labor. Now, when they say they're going to fix the system, all they're going to do is take out your old ignition and put in a new one with a brand new key. That's all they're going to do. So this little trick that I'm going to show you will save you that huge headache of actually having to waste, 2-3 days, whatever it is going to take them to do your car, and waste $600 and spend a couple bucks in parts maybe, which is not even parts, it's just kind of like a little resistors that you can get from Radio Shack. Symptoms of a vehicle anti-theft malfunction. First off, your car will not start, obviously. The second thing to realize is that the car is not going to crank. The way this system works is that there's two sides to the system. There's the left side of the system, which handles the initial spark and the crank of the engine, and then there's the second side of the system that controls the fuel injectors. You can bypass the relay that controls the spark, but you can't bypass the initial fuel injection side because that's where the anti-theft system kicks in. The quickest and easiest way to know if your VATS system is locking out of the car is that there's a security light on your dash that's supposed to turn on and then turn off. That is the VATS system telling the ECU you have a confirmation that the right resistance or the right key is in the ignition and that it's okay for the fuel injectors to fire. Okay, I just got back home. I'm now in my car. First thing that happens when you notice the anti-theft system kicks you out of the car, you're going to get in, you're going to think everything's hunky-dory, and you're going to see this. Okay, now if you notice, shut up. Shut up. Thank you. Now if you notice, of course my handbrake is on, service engine light, all that other stuff pops on when you normally start the car, but if you notice, your security light is not on. Now, make sure. Now look, nothing happens, okay? What happens here is that this little chip on your key stops reading, stops communicating with the ECU, and the ECU thinks that the car is being stolen and the entire car shuts off. Okay? Now, the first thing to try is that look at your key. Make sure that these contact points are able to touch something. Like you can take your fingernail and drag your fingernail across it. If you can still drag your nail across it and it catches, the first thing you want to try and do is take maybe some like a Q-tip and some rubbing alcohol and clean the surface of the key, and also clean the inside contacts on your ignition. Now if that doesn't work, then you're going to have to bypass the system. Now, what you need to do is find this orange wire. This orange wire is connected to this, which is where you put your key in. You need to follow where that wire goes. Now normally it should come out to here. I don't know how well you can see that. It should be purple and white with a black line in the middle of it. So it's purple and white, white and black. What you need to do then is snip this wire that has this little connection point and take that with you. And here's the second thing that you need to do. Okay. Since I am a one-man show today, and most of all the times, what you're going to do, let's see here, focus, come on. Okay, you see that little metal slab there in the middle of that eye? What you're going to want to do is measure right on that little metal point right here, okay? And you measure on both sides of the key. It doesn't matter which side you start first with. Kind of put that in a vise or something like that. Now, you're going to measure the resistance on that key. And then, in this case, I'll show you what I mean. Contact here, contact here. Now you can see the reading is 1.12. Okay, now that we have the resistance value on the key, which in my case it's 1.12, what you want to do is go to any electronics store. Radio Shack normally has all this crap, you know. You want to buy a resistor pack. I went overboard because I got the big $10 one. It's like 100 pieces or whatever, because I anticipate I'll be doing this again for other people, because I know a lot of guys that have these older GM cars with that stupid anti-theft system in there. What you want to do is get these resistors, and you want to equal the value to this key. Now, the way these systems works, you can either come in between 2 to 5% greater than or less than the actual value of the key. So you don't have to be spot on. Once you do that, once you equal the resistance on the key, remember that orange wire that I told you about? Well, you take that part that connects to the purple and white and the white and black, I believe it is. Yeah. You're going to want to take those resistors, which is what I have here, and you're going to solder it onto this portion where it connects. Quick reminder on what's going to happen. Right here, there's supposed to be a security light, okay? Now if you try and start the car, nothing happens, okay? What you're going to want to do is take those resistors that we had a little while ago. Once you get it all soldered together, taped off, and you got everything connected to this plug, you're going to come down here, stay, okay, you're going to come down here, plug that guy in, and now this should happen. There's a security light, okay? Once that goes off, now your car starts. Okay, now that we have all of that done, let's do a quick recap. If you have enough of this like eye material on your key that you can take your fingernail and drag it across and you can catch it, what I would do is just take a Q-tip, try rubbing alcohol, clean this key, all the contact points on the key, and then clean the inside of the ignition. That might help. Now if that doesn't do the job, then go ahead and replace, cut that orange wire and then solder in some resistors that equals the value of the key. The only other third option that you have is to take it to a GM dealer and spend the $600 to have them fix the system. Now the only thing they're going to do is they're just going to make you a new key and put in a new ignition. That is all they're going to do. I would much rather see people do this, and it's like, what, a couple dollars and like 10-15 minutes of your time to do that, rather than to have GM have your car for like a week or two and then, you know, you're down $600. So this is a much better fix. I wouldn't call it a fix, kind of like a bypass, I guess you could say. There are a few videos out there on YouTube that are like this, but I don't think there's enough of them out there, and I've seen a lot of people get stuck on the middle of the road or in a parking lot at a grocery store because this stupid little chip in the key won't send the reading to the computer saying, hey, it's okay for the fuel injectors to fire. So I do hope this video helped you out. I hope it gets your car started and gets you down the road and wherever you need to go. I hope you get there safe. If you got any questions, please email them to me or leave them in the comment section down below. I hope that helps. Alright guys, take care. Cheers.